What is going on, everybody? My name is SirJBGaming and hope you guys are having a spectacular day. Today is another Destiny 2 commentary style video where we're going to be talking about what the real problem with Destiny 2 is. All right, now I know that there are many problems with the game in itself, but this all leads back to the same topic that I'm going to be talking about today. Yes, the Eververse store and the in-game prices are an issue. However, that is a separate topic that other creators have already covered, and I'm not going to be covering at all in this video. I will also address now that the whole recycle content thing is an issue for a lot of people, or even the lack of content, but really that's not even an issue. To me, it's not an issue. Hopefully by the end of this video, people are going to see that that really isn't the bigger of the issues within Destiny 2, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about that later. The real issue with Destiny 2 is it's the community, it's the fan base, it's the players, it's anything that ties to the people that actually play Destiny 2. Now, this doesn't mean that every single person that plays Destiny 2 is the problem, but I would say confidently more than 50% of the community seems to always hate Bungie, the creators of Destiny 2, for what they do to the game. And the time frame that I'm looking at while making this video is the first Into the Light stream. Remember, they did 3 streams talking about what Into the Light was, and they did 3 streams kind of diving into what's going to be coming out with it. It starts from that very first stream all the way up into the Final Shape gameplay trailer. That's the time frame that I'm looking at. It's also worth mentioning, though, that in between all of this and even before and after this video is going to be posted, that the Twids every single week, I guarantee you, if you go read them on Twitter, like if you click on the tweet that the Bungie normally makes, there will be a lot of just hate for the game in the comments. And so it just blows my mind that a community like this that plays this game talks so much shit about the game, essentially. And I'm gonna be saying that a lot of shit talk about this game. So I guess without further ado, let's get right into it. So let's start with the first stream from the Into the Light stream, showing the basics of the new game mode Onslaught, and all that people could do in the chat was just talk shit. That's all they knew how to do. They would talk about how the game mode looks boring, it doesn't seem very eventful, and then whenever they got to like the every single 10 waves where we now know you get an award for everything, they did show the awards, and the community just went nuts not knowing what the rewards for, and that's all they wanted to know. And to me, spoiling things like that just doesn't seem right, and I'm gonna get into that in just a little bit. Other things such as, you know, will the locations change, like I said, what the loot was, all of that seemed to be the issue. Now, the people on the stream would go back and later in the stream and talk about how there will be different locations and that they will see the loot in the coming weeks, or even by Into the Light comes out. I can't fully remember, but either way, we're gonna find out what it is. And it's just like, even though some of that stuff was said, it seemed like no one cared that was even brought up. It was just like that went right over everybody's head, and it's like because they didn't get the information now, they decided to just completely slander the entire work that these guys have been putting in. And I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to dick ride anybody. You know, I've had my own beef with Bungie and Destiny 2. I'm not trying to be that guy, but let's take a step back and realize that these guys have put a lot of time and effort into something like this to help fill in gaps between now and Final Shape. These guys don't have to put in this kind of content between whenever and Final Shape, right? They chose to do this because they knew the community was going to like it. And the fact that the community would come out and say all these terrible things, like, that just blows my mind. If I was the lead game developer and I saw something like this, like if I saw the community just completely downplaying everything that we're kind of filling in for time so that we can make the grand DLC better, I would just stop right there. Like, I'd just be like, nope, sucks. You guys are shit. You aren't getting it. Maybe you should, you know, kept your mouth shut, whatever. I don't know. That's maybe why I'm never a game developer, but, you know, I digress. And to me, ultimately, this is just super funny that people put all this time into the game and just badmouth it. I guarantee you more than half the people that do talk shit about this game and on all these streams and behind the screen and everything, they probably have thousands of hours in this game. They probably have done everything and anything in the game, and that just blows my mind that they'll spend all that time but then shit talk it, and then they'll also shit talk it but then also still play it. That's like, to me, if you're gonna talk so badly about it, don't play it. Plain and simple. Wait till it comes out, wait till other people play it, watch them play it, and then maybe you go play it. But, you know, whatever, I guess. But this is a little bit different. This is a game mode, and that isn't even out at the time that this was being shown, and people are already hating on it, not seeing all of it, judging it immediately. It's almost as if they want to see the full content coming and won't be happy unless they do, which to me ruins the whole concept of these kind of streams, right? Like, either way, you're gonna know what else is coming in the game mode in a 3-week span. Like, calm down. You have things that you could be doing between now and then, or maybe even go play some other games, you know, but don't just watch and hour. And that's the thing. It was just an hour long of this new game mode that we're just seeing for the very first time and hearing about for the very first time. Don't judge it off of that. In my opinion, you can't judge something unless you have played it. You can watch hours and hours of it, but until you play it, in my opinion, you cannot judge it. It's just the thought of a company like giving all the information regarding what's to come in a couple weeks out immediately. Like, imagine they told you everything that was to come out in an hour stream. That just like doesn't sound fun at all. That's like going to a movie and knowing the plot and how the movie ends before even watching it, but you still go to watch it. Like that's so dumb to me. I won't even go into the fact that the community somehow found the guy that was playtesting all of this, that they've somehow found his username and would send him messages and friend requests with the most slanderous names. That in itself speaks so much about how bad the community is for this game, and either that or just how terrible the community is in general. Anyway, I thought that this would only happen in the first stream, and I didn't actually get to watch the second Into the Light stream. I tuned in towards the very tail end, but my understanding was that it didn't get any better at all. It was pretty much the same kind of slander. But going back and looking, the result was exactly the same. Not going fully into this stream, however, because it's pretty much just copy and paste of what I said, but the third stream had more content, so to speak, into it, and I feel like it just got worse, so to speak. In the third stream, they showed two sides of what was to come for Into the Light. One of the things they showed were 3 new Crucible maps, okay? Which, in my opinion, looks super dope. I'm not a big PvP player. Like, I know I upload a bunch of PvP videos, but I'm more of a PvE guy. But the Crucible maps coming, they look pretty freaking cool in my opinion. The art design, the map design, because they did like run through the map and everything, it looked amazing. But the community had to sink their rotten cocoa melon like brains into the chat, talking about in the opening cinematic scene that the map looked like shit. The map looked trash. It looked terrible. They even went so far to say this also looks like reskin content, which I'm like, what do you mean? These are on planets that we have never had Crucible maps on, and somehow it's reskin content. Please explain this to me. I'm just not seeing it. Now you'll notice that I did skip over the first half of that stream, which was talking about the 2 new exotic missions returning to Destiny 2, and they did say that they would be returning, basically to make 2 of the exotic weapons craftable and to do these exotic missions. And everyone was like, oh, here we go, recycle content, blah 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 blah. Yes, I can see the argument for recycle content 100%, and to me, you know, who has played this game since day one, it is recycled content. However, they at least have changed it. They have changed how the mechanics are, at least for the first mission, because at the time of this recording, the revision 0 is not out yet, so I can't say anything on that. But as for the Whisper of the Worm quest, everything has changed, and they have added in other things to it. The whole exotic ship is going to be coming out in a couple weeks here. The process of getting that is different, and then the ship looks different itself. So it's like, yes, it's recycled content, but at the same time, it's also not recycled content. I'm not, okay, whatever. I'm not understanding. Regardless, I have to say, people were still toxic whenever they showcased some of the mission. They talked about it. They didn't show the ending of the mission, obviously, because they stated many times in the stream the boss fights were going to be different, so you're not going to show that on, you know, a early reveal stream. You're gonna have to wait until you hop in the game yourself. But people still found a way to make it a toxic matter and just completely just shit talk the developers. So that's kind of where everything got bad. And throughout those 3 weeks, the Twids would kind of clarify on a bunch of things, and even with the clarification of like how the weapons are going to be dropping, more so what's going to be happening, a little bit more details like people were asking for, the community still couldn't stop talking shit. And I will just never understand how a community is this toxic. I can't think of another community that's like this. Yes, there are very toxic communities within a game itself, like in game chat, but like outside of that, Bungie and Destiny 2 have to have the worst community ever, in my opinion. And I'm part of that, so you know, that says a lot. Now let's fast forward a week later, where the 30 minutes of the final shape gameplay was shown, right? Something that no one was expecting at the end of the Into the Light stream on the 3rd week. We were told that a week later we were going to be getting 30 minutes, we were going to be getting a final shape gameplay, okay? We didn't know what it was going to entail. We didn't know anything about it. We get 30 minutes of this gameplay showcasing how you can combine supers, new enemy types, a little bit more about story, and just other smaller details like exotic class items. And it's so funny because I did watch this. Every time Bungie streams, I always have their chat pulled up. Normally, I minimize people's chat whenever I'm watching stuff like this, but for them, I always have their chat pulled up. And I noticed that the community was actually pretty positive about it. Throughout it all, they were very happy, very positive about it. One would say glazing the company, which is crazy, which did bring a lot of light to me, because I was like, okay, yeah, the community does see the new content in a good matter, which is good. Now, obviously, there were a couple of your toxic chatters saying the game's still dead, the game's going to be trashed, Again, we don't know because it's not even full gameplay, right? It's like pre-recorded, you know, shot over and over and over again to get the perfect take kind of gameplay, right? So we don't see everything within it. But as soon as all of that was over, the community went right back to being toxic, and it's just like, come on now, guys, seriously, like, can we just be appreciative of something they do? Maybe once Final Shape Fall does release, we're gonna get some appreciation here, or I don't know, because even recently in the TWID they've talked about how the formatting of everything is gonna go, like they're gonna, you have to do the raid in order to beat the witness in Final Shape. Just like people are already mad about that, but honestly, if you should be able to do it by now. They've made it very accessible to do raids. Okay, so side note for a different video. Anyways, now look, I'm willing to bet that somehow the community will see this video and they will slander me for calling them out. I mean, I've even made videos talking bad about Bungie in the past, and people will still come after me to making fun of my physical appearance, the way that I talk, the things that I talk about, and how wrong I am, and just a bunch of other things, which to me shows A, you have nothing else to talk about, and you're just trying to find something to be toxic about. Maybe you're practicing your toxic chatting skills on other creators and then taking that to Bungie, hoping that one day a Bungie dev will eventually call your name out, but it will never happen. Like, really, at times, the community just can't make up their mind on who to stand up for, and that's something that just really bothers me with this. They never can have a determined side. The only thing that they can make their mind up on is being toxic towards anyone that calls them out specifically, or about the game that they talk shit about almost every single day. That's pretty much it on my description of how toxic the fan base is. I could go way further back into various other DLCs and even recent talks about how bad these other DLCs were at the time, even though, you know, we're years past a lot of this stuff. But I'm not going to. I'd rather just keep it into recent events. So listen, let me know what you guys think down below. What is the real problem with Destiny 2? Is it the player base? If you do agree, let me know why in the comments. If you don't agree and you think it's something else, let me know as well. I want to hear everybody's opinion on this. I'd love to know what everybody's opinion is on the matter of how bad Destiny 2 is. Anyways, if you guys have enjoyed, make sure you guys drop a like, and if you guys want to see more Destiny 2 content, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button for me. I do greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Till then, you guys know me, it's been your boy SirJB. Get at me.